These suggestions will help you to increase your brand awareness and help you to make sales even though you aren't really comfortable with showing your face. This question is a question that I've actually gotten, and a question that I get a lot from new business owners, and I'll put that question up on the screen for you to see. The first thing that I'd say is best for you to understand, you're going to need to stand out and be creative, and as creative as possible with your content. Because you aren't showing your face, your content needs to be more memorable, it needs to be more interesting, and it's best if your brand becomes associated with creative content. So if you're going to go this route, your job is to make your content as dynamic and creative as possible. This looks like you jumping on any trends, any trending music, any trending platforms, all with the purpose of grabbing your ideal customer's attention and showing your product in the most creative way possible. Another thing to remember is quality. Because you aren't showing your face and you're opting to show your products in a different way, it needs to be the highest quality content that either you can create or somebody can create for you, little to no filters as possible, and the highest quality content as possible. So that's the first point, understanding that if you're not going to show your face, you're going to have to get as creative as possible with your content. The second thing that you can do if you aren't willing to show your face as a new business owner is to use models. If you're a part of the Business Girl community over on Instagram, you know I talk a lot about the effectiveness of using a model to showcase your product or to show it in action. Models are definitely effective, and it's an option if you aren't willing to show your own face for your business. But if you don't have a designated model, or you don't have somebody that you can use as your model, or you don't want to literally use your face, there are still ways that you can be the model without showing your face. So almost like a faceless model. While this is a last resort, it is possible, and there are businesses that use this option to help build a connection with their audience, and they still get the point across, but there aren't any faces attached, and this is an option that you can consider. Here's a disclaimer for this faceless model option, because this option is all about you saying, okay, I don't want to use my face, but I still want to use a human person. I'm going to be the model, but I'm not going to show my face. Here's the disclaimer with this. This option usually works best for businesses where you're showing your products on your body. This is fine if you are a clothing boutique, or if you sell maybe waist trainers or some sort of exercise equipment or supplement. You can still give that human illusion and build that connection with your audience without actually showing your face. However, this may be just a little bit harder for business owners that sell products that you go on the face. For example, if you sell cosmetics like eyeshadows or face serums or face creams, it'll be best to actually have a model where you are showing the face. But I'll talk about what you can do if you sell those type of products in a minute. If you sell products where the actual product takes shape on the human form, like I mentioned, like a clothing boutique, a business that sells waist trainers or waist control products, you're definitely going to have to show those products on a human body, and you can do that without actually showing the face. Jewelry, lingerie, and even some skincare products can go about not showing the face of the model, and you can be the model. These are some of the businesses that can do that. But what I want you to know, if you decide to go with this option of the faceless model, is also that you have to consider the angles of the content that you create. So the whole thing about showing your products using a model is for you to show the product in action and give it a more relatable environment so your customer can relate more to it. What I want you to consider is the angles that you use, the shots that you use, and possibly using more predominantly lifestyle content. If you decide to go with this route, you're going to have to get really good with angles, really good with settings and sceneries to make sure that while you aren't showing your face, if you are the model and you're setting up, let's say for example, the tripod yourself, you're doing it in a way that's still aesthetically pleasing for your audience. Using a tripod will help you to maintain some sort of consistency if you're going to be doing it yourself, and also making sure that you're using the best lighting as possible. Maybe you're using artificial lighting, you still want that lighting to come across as natural as possible. I will link in the description box below a list of all of my tech recommendation when it comes to different tripods that you can use to take photos and videos with different angles. I will link them in the description box below. That should be able to help you to use the best tools that will allow you to create content without showing your face if you decide to go this route. I will also leave the link to my free training for new business owners. If you're interested in that, the link to that will also be in the description box below. So this third option is for you guys that aren't really interested in having the half model option or the faceless model option. What you can do is hire a model outright or use a family member as your model for your business. This will allow you to have access to a person that you can use to create content on a regular basis. So this is why the family member option is a good option for you, or you can hire them, meaning that they will be available whenever you hire them. And this allows you to have consistency with your content and allow you to meet the demands or the requirement of having a physical model for your business without showing your face. And another good thing about this is if you decide to hire a model outright, or if you decide to use a family member consistently, what that will do by default is build a human connection, and what that person will become is the face of the business without even trying to be the face of the business. Because you'll be using that person consistently, you will begin to build some sort of connection with your audience, and that person will become associated with your business. So if you decide to go with that route, make sure you're okay with that person developing into somewhat of the face of your business. Just think of the Fashion Nova brand and how you have the Fashion Nova girl. Like if I say Fashion Nova girl, there probably is a specific model that comes to mind, or maybe just one or two models that come to mind, and it's because they were hired to be models for that brand, and because they've used them consistently, that person has become the default face of the brand, and it allowed them to build some sort of connection with their audience regardless of that model just being someone that was hired for that job. So if you aren't comfortable with showing your face and becoming the face of the brand, but you don't want to do the half or faceless model option, go ahead and consider hiring a model, or go ahead and consider using a designated family member that you can just use, maybe a sister or a friend that you can use to help you create content and be the model for your business. Now, this fourth option is for people that are kind of okay with showing their face, but they do not want to become the official face of their business. And what you can do, or the type of content that you can create, is just show behind the scenes content of your business and you doing things within your business. And you can do this in a casual way, and you can do this every now and then, and you can also do this in conjunction with one of the other options that I mentioned. Every now and then you can release stories of behind the scenes content of you working on your business. You can go live on various platforms, just showing yourself and your personality for a little bit. And you can also share this with your customers off of social media as well. What this will do is it'll help you to bit by bit build a connection with your audience. People will become familiar with you as the owner of the business, but you'll still be able to have another person be the model, the full-on model, right? So you'll still have somebody that shows their face and the entire body if your business requires that. So those are the options that you can consider if you aren't really okay with or wanting to show your face, or ready to show your face as the official person for your business. You can do that option. You can hire somebody, you can use friends or family, you can use the faceless model option, or you can show yourself bit by bit, exposing little by little your personality, your audience, to help you build that human connection. I will leave the link to the tech recommendations that will help you set up a content creation corner, which I also always talk about on the Business Girl Instagram. That will help you to use tripods, that will help you to maintain consistency with the angles and the shots and the quality of your content, because that's going to be very important. And I'll also leave the link to the free business training if you're interested in that. It will also be linked in the the description below, so you can also go and check that out. And if you liked this video, you probably like my other video on creating a content release schedule. I'll go ahead and link that on the screen, and I will see you there.